Hello. Well, as a generation, we hate the thought of online censorship and government control, and that they and websites are spying on us, yet so many of us simply let it happen. Our use of the internet is under a three-pronged attack from the government, from websites, and the third one will surprise you. Welcome to Grey Matters. Hello there, and welcome to Grey Matters, the channel that promotes the fact that the older generation still matters, or definitely has relevance, and which looks at issues that matter to the older generation. So, what are these three prongs of attack on us people, us older people on the internet? Well, first of all, we still have the government talking about limiting online privacy tools, saying that it's for safety and child protection. But the end result will protect you less, and it would mean that you would have even less control over who sees your online activity. And then secondly, we have the websites themselves. Imagine you're just sitting at home enjoying some browsing on the internet. You open a website, maybe your bank or the news or some shopping or something to do with a hobby or pastime. And without any warning, and without you seeing it, dozens, if not hundreds of companies you've never heard of suddenly stop watching you. In fact, the internet is watching us probably a lot more than many of us realised. But it doesn't have to be that way. What's happening is this three-pronged attack on older people, and once you understand those three prongs, you can protect yourself with just a couple of very simple habits. Simple, quick things you can do, things that take seconds, and they give you back control. So as I said, the first attack is coming from the government, which has been exploring ways to limit or control your online activity, and all in the name of child protection. They want to stop people accessing and hiding illegal activity online, and that's fine, that's understandable. Nobody wants harmful content to be accessible. But these proposals go much further than child protection. They include measures that will affect all of us. Now, the main attack on your online freedom will be through the stopping of online privacy tools, and VPNs will be at the forefront of this. Now, a few days ago, the government stated they were not going to make any changes to VPN use for the moment. And those three words clearly signify that their war against the internet use is not yet over. And if the rumours we hear are true, the next PM, Andy Burnham, intends to double down on VPN control. And if they do actually leave it alone, then that will be great news. Now, our generation largely ignores VPNs, either because we don't understand what they are, what they do, or why they're needed, or because it just seems too complex to deal with. But actually, installing and using a VPN is simplicity itself. Now, you might have heard that they're used to bypass age verification systems, which is true, but they are much more than that, much more valuable than that. Without a VPN, your internet connection is wide open, and anyone between you and the website you're visiting can see what you're doing. And that includes your internet provider. That could be, BT, Sky, Virgin, TalkTalk, whoever provides your internet, advertisers, data brokers, hackers, and even governments. And they can all see every website you visit, how often you visit, how long you stay, and what type of device you're using. They can't see inside your bank or your email because they're encrypted, but they can see that you visited them. And some providers will sell this data to advertisers. Some will use it to build behavioural profiles. Without a VPN, every website sees your real IP address, your real location, your real region, and sometimes even your town. Have you ever searched for something on, say, photographs of Blackpool, and then you find you're getting lots of suggestions from travel agents, from travel firms such as Booking.com for holidays in Blackpool? Or a pop-up that says, looking for places to eat in, and then name the town where you live. Or more disturbingly, so-and-so from insert the town where you live, wants to meet up. Well, that's why. So you're also very vulnerable on public Wi-Fi, and this is one of the biggest risks for us older people. Public Wi-Fi is a magnet for hackers. Cafes, hospitals, libraries, hotels, airports. It's extremely easy to intercept your online activity. And without a VPN, a hacker on the same Wi-Fi can see what sites you visit, intercept your unencrypted data, redirect you to fake websites and steal login details and capture personal information. The total economic damage from this kind of data breach in the UK runs into billions of pounds a year. And the average value of an individual's stolen data is worth more than £4,000 to a hacker. But when you use a VPN, all your online activity is encrypted and it's hidden from all these different people, these organisations, advertisers and governments, which is exactly why the government wants to ban them. Now, a VPN isn't a frightening piece of software. There are many available online to download. They're simple to install on your device, and in fact it's no different to installing a game. And they don't just work on PCs, they work on laptops, on phones and tablets too, so you can take your protection with you. There are lots of free versions, some entirely free, some are free versions of paid apps, so they're slightly cut down in what they do, and some are built into your browser, if you know where to look. But the best and safest option is to purchase a subscription to a well-known brand. Now, I'm not here to sell you a VPN, so don't worry, but I am here to sell you the idea that you need one, because you really do. Most of us older people don't use any privacy tools at all. So when a government talks about restricting them, we just don't realise what we might be losing. Now, child protection is a misdirection in my view. The government is desperate to control our use of the internet. And if they do resurrect the banning of VPNs for private individuals, they will be opening the gates to unrestricted criminal access to our lives and legitimised tracking of everything we do. And we can't allow that to happen. This is probably yet another case where we might have to make our feelings known, and that will mean more letter writing. Yeah, thanks guys. So that's the first of this three-pronged attack. Now the second is one you'll come across every day, even if you don't realise it. When you browse the internet, you're not just visiting a website, you're stepping into a world where companies compete to collect, use and sell information about you. Some of it's harmless, some of it is useful, but most of it's intrusive and will compromise your privacy. Now, advertising networks, data brokers, tracking systems are all quietly collecting little pieces of information about you. What you read, what you click, what you search for, what you might buy next, even what time of day you're usually online. And imagine that every time you visit a site, you're asked to agree to it. And most of us do. I know all of you have seen that annoying cookie pop up, and most people, especially older viewers, just immediately click accept all just to get rid of it. But accept all means that you're giving permission for advertisers to follow you around the internet, for companies to build a profile of your interests, for hundreds of so-called partners to track your browsing, for behaviour analysts to work out when you're most likely to be online and what you might want to buy, and for location tracking. Now, in view of what I've just been saying about VPNs, you might be saying to yourself, well, if a VPN stops all this tracking nonsense, why do I need to reject cookies? So let me just explain that. A VPN encrypts and protects your connection, but cookies are little packets of data that are downloaded directly from a website that you're visiting straight into your browser, where they basically spy on you and have a direct reporting procedure back to their creators. There's a good chance that you don't realise how much of your online activity is being tracked, and it's possible that you're one of those who says, I really don't care. But have you ever seen the list of vendors who have access to so much information about you if you accept those cookies? Now here's just one example from the Encyclopedia Britannica's website. So here we've got the reasons they want to develop and improve services. They want to deliver advertising to you. They want to identify your computer and all the information about it. And when you see the list of vendors on here, look at this lot. There are loads and loads and loads of companies, all of these tracking what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it, just following you around the internet. That's quite shocking. And the thing is, every website you visit, you'll be doing that. You'll be letting more and more and more of those companies do that. Rejecting cookies doesn't break the website. It just stops those companies following you around the internet. Allowing cookies is like standing in your local marketplace with a megaphone and inviting a crowd of people to just follow you around, see where you go, see the things you've purchased, how much you've spent, or follow you into the library and see what you're reading, or to your travel agent or estate agent and see what you're planning. And then they tell all their friends about what they found out about you. So there's a simple rule. If a website gives you a choice, always click reject all. And if you don't see that option, click manage and turn everything off. Now some cookies you can't turn off because they're essential to make the website work, and they're usually called strictly necessary cookies, and it'll be greyed out. You won't be able to get rid of those. But do get rid of the rest. It takes 10 seconds, and I know it's flipping annoying to have to keep doing it, but it massively reduces the tracking and the invasion of your privacy. Now the third attack comes from us, from this generation, because inaction leaves us vulnerable. You mightn't care, which is fair enough, but research shows that our generation does object to the idea of being tracked or having our browsing censored or controlled, but they don't know what to do about it. And it feels like VPNs and rejecting cookies should be something complicated, but it isn't. You don't need to understand encryption, you don't need to understand data tracking and anything like that. You just need to do two simple things. Reject cookies whenever a website asks, get a VPN, turn it on and leave it on. I mean, there may be occasions when a trusted site or an app on your phone asks you to turn it off because it can't function, and that's fine. You can usually pause the connection for a few minutes and it will then auto reconnect. That's all you have to do. So 2 buttons, 2 habits, huge improvement to online safety. And if you're unsure how to do it, then I can tell you that 80% of younger internet users use VPNs. So get your son, daughter, or even your grandchild to help set things up for you. Now, while governments debate how much control they should have over your online privacy, it's important that we older people aren't left behind. These tools just aren't for techie people. They're for anyone who wants to stay safe online, especially those of us who are the most targeted by scammers, and that's our generation. Rejecting cookies isn't complicated, using a secure connection isn't complicated, and protecting your privacy doesn't require any special skills, just a few seconds of your time. And maybe a few minutes writing to your MP at one point or another to tell them what you think about restricting the use of VPNs in the future. That's it for now. Sermon over. If you are using a VPN, do you always reject cookies and do you always use your VPN? And if you do neither, then do tell us why not. And if you like this video, please give it a big fat thumbs up and subscribe. And don't forget, you can also become a channel member. The button is below the video, and there are 2 physical perks that aren't shown where you join up, but the full details are in the description. Thank you for joining us once again. We love having you come to visit, and until the next time here in Grey Matters, stay safe online, and it's bye for now.